medical technology advances, human longevity continues to increase as a result. The average lifespan is increasing in most parts of the developed world, and the world's oldest people continue to set records. A Japanese woman recently broke her own record to become the world's oldest living woman. Her name is Kane Tanaka, and she recently turned 117 years old. The supercentenarian marks her occasion with friends and family at a nursing home in Fukuoka. Miss Tanaka, whose birthday was on the 2nd of January, took a bite of her big birthday cake and said with a smile, "Tasty, and want some more purple flower pin," stood out from the right side of her short white hair, as she made her way through the party in a wheelchair, decorated with faux pink and white flowers, tinsel, and foil stars. She clapped her way into her big day, and stopped to kiss the hands of well-wishers before singing a happy birthday song. Tanaka has dreamed of being the record holder for the world's oldest person since she turned 100. CBS News reported the seventh of 8 children cried tears of joy when she was handed to plaques last year for being the world's living person and the world's oldest living woman. Tanaka's honor is representative of Japan's cultural deference to its older populations, as well as a diet and healthcare system that allows its population to age well into the 80s and beyond. It also stands as a symbol of the low birth rate in the country, according to Reuters, potentially putting the country at risk of a labor shortage during World War II. Tanaka worked in her family store, selling rice cakes and noodles. Her son, Nobuo, was captured by the Soviets but was released in 1947. She continued to work in the store before firing at the age of 63 in the 1970s. She visited the United States, where she has several nieces and nephews at the age of 103. Tanaka was diagnosed with colon cancer but survived a 5-hour-long surgery. When she was 107, her son wrote a book about her, which discusses her life and longevity. Tanaka currently resides in Fukuoka Prefecture and has lived in a nursing home since 2005, at the age of 117. She can get around with the help of a walker, play a fellow, do math problems, and calligraphy of her favorite foods. Chocolate and pop beverages. She loves to write poetry, and she can still remember her trips to the United States. She attributes her longevity to her faith in God. She is the 4th Japanese person to hold the honor, the others being Natojima Gyo Miyako and Muscle Okawa. Many people are curious about Tanaka's diet and lifestyle, hoping to recreate her ability to live beyond a century. Food was a big part of her life, as her father ran a family business that made and sold sticky rice, udon noodles and cents in a traditional Japanese bean desert. In 1937, while her husband was in the military, she became more involved in the business. Guinness reports, polishing rice and making rice cakes. One of the main photos snapped up her world record celebration shows her digging into a giant tower of strawberries, served with whipped cream, but she enjoys other treats during the presentation ceremony. Kane was given a box of chocolates, which he immediately opened and started eating. Guinness reported later. She was asked how much chocolate she wants to eat today, and replied 100, and according to the Daily Mail, she had previously had did her longevity to a strong appetite and her liking of sweets, coffee and fizzy drinks. So maybe you don't need to put down that coffee cup or box of chocolates. At least if you'd like to make it to the century mark. Some also credit the general Japanese diet with their increased longevity. When the Japanese eat meat, they eat mostly heart-healthy fish, rich in omega-3 fatty acids. Other popular foods include tofu, seaweed, and octopus, all of which carry a low risk for some cancers and arteriosclerosis. The Japanese diet's focus on fish, rice, apples and other low-fat, non-processed foods have resulted in lower obesity rates compared to Western countries, and a higher life expectancy, particularly among women. If you're keen to live past 100, consider the Okinawa diet. The region of Japan with the largest concentration of centenarians anywhere in the world This consists of seaweed bitter melon, leafy green vegetables, tofu fish, modest portions of brown rice, and lashings of sweet potato. Although changing dietary habits means obesity has been rising, it's still relatively rare in a nation whose culinary, the mission focuses on fish, rice, vegetables, and other foods low in fat. Age is also traditionally respected in Japan, meaning people stay active into their 80s and beyond. And while Kane holds the title of the oldest living human being, she is far from the oldest person in history. That title belongs to Jean Cowman, who lived to be more than 122 years old, though her age has been verified. There is a popular conspiracy theory that she actually died many years earlier, but conspiracy states that Cowman's daughter was posing as her mother in order to save money. Some claim that Cowman, in fact, died at the age of 59 in 1934, and her daughter assumed her identity after the fact to avoid inheritance taxes, and was thus the one who died in 1997 at the impressive, but not record-breaking age of 99. But now Cowman's fans are breathing a sigh of relief after the publication of a new study, which disqualifies the previous study, presenting mathematical models. They say, make Cowman's age plausible. The team adds that the previous study, and its own mathematical findings, do not reach the level expected for an application. The French team readily admits that most age claims beyond 115 are false, but the experts say that members of their team, unlike the other researchers, were actually able to visit Cowman in a person coming in more than 3 years younger, is the second oldest person to ever live. Sarah Knowles, the Pennsylvania native, lived to be 119 years old and passed away in 1999. Knowles, who was born September 24, 1880, and lived a quiet life as a homemaker and insurance office manager, found herself in the international spotlight. Light after Guinness declared her the world's oldest person in 1998, upon the death of Marie-Louise Favrel, Namelor of Quebec, who was 117 at the time of her death. Sarah was still following her passion for television golf. She boasted that she had been able to live many years by nibbling milk chocolate, turtles, cashews, and potato chips. In an interview in 1998, she said that, in order to live as long as she did, you have to keep yourself busy, work hard, and never worry about how old you are. Now she died of natural causes, although she wasn't sick at that moment. She still remains the oldest person from the United States, though. She no longer holds the title. Much hope to reach her ripe old age. With the exponential developments in medical technology, that dream might become a reality for many people.